shit.
All right. SNA fans, sorry about that. I just there are technical difficulties again. But anyways, back to the in-ring interview with what's his name, Sting and Darby Allin. This is where Darby Allin was like, "Yeah, you remember this part, Sting? I flew to your house in Texas. Like, you had a wrestling ring in your garage, and you were put around the ring. Like, and within 5 minutes, what did I say to you? Like, look at that. You still got it at your age." And then this is where Darby, I mean not Darby, Sting was like, "Yeah, I absolutely remember that." And this is where the Young Bucks was back in the production truck, I believe, because this is where they had the screen where they had the screen for the show, and then it has the what's that? The editing and things like on the production, like right into this room. I was like, don't tell me they're gonna mess with the production, mess with the TV effects, like in where everybody watching at home with showing some like what's that like them drawing on the inside right in front of the camera production with people at home watching with some editing and some what's that like with them drawing like fake like a mustache or anything like hilarious and graphic and some that's very comedic, basically where I'm coming from. You know what I mean? I thought they would do like take a number out of the D-Generation X playbook, taking a page out of their book, I should say, and this is where Darby Allin was continuing to compliment the Stinger, and he was like, and that's why we led to us being undefeated in 27-0. And fans like, yeah, I have to agree. Like ever since I came here, we've been nothing but undefeated by defeating every single body here. Which I believe they were thinking like everybody except for the Bucks, which it had us WWE, not the AEW fans wondering like, is they're really gonna be the one that's gonna defeat them in their undefeated streak, and perhaps even be in the last wrestlers that Sting ever that's gonna compete against his last match basically in March 3rd of AEW Revolution, of course. But this is where Darby, I was like, and this is where it's like, and that had me thinking like that makes that number one spot in the number one contenders against Ricky Starks and Big Bill for those tag team championships. And he's like, just saying, that's what he looked like in the camera. Like, what kind of dumbasses wouldn't take? What kind of dumbass would not take this opportunity? And so, just think about all those years ago. Like, I'm gonna look at the eyes, Sting. This says one more time, Sting. Like, have you still got this thing? But the only difference is I'm not alone this time. Like I think these Savannah fans could agree with us as well. And he's like, and that Sting, you still got it. And even my brother knows that too. Like, he was like, he's what age? Like, and he's still wrestling still wrestling like this? Like, yes. And this is where Darby Allin was like, what do you say, Sting? Like, you want to end your career right here? Like, as AEW tag team champions? And Sting was like, like, well, and this before Darby Allin let Sting answer, this is where he hurried up and interrupted him right there, then and there, saying, like, it's all on you, man. Like, I'm gonna let you decide this. And this is where Sting was like, okay, like, what kind of answer do you want me to do? Well, I guess I got your attention, and rest of these fans' attention. When the fans start chanting Sting's name, is where Sting was like, all right, Savannah, we can do that. Like, we can make that arrange. Like, I'm all in for it. Which he hilariously took the words out of AEW's latest pay-per-view in Wembley Stadium. This was like, oh, when the fans started chanting the crow call, which I think it was official because Sting and Darby Allin, not Sting, the absolute Ricky Starks and Big Bill easily accepted their challenge when they were backstage when they were interviewed by, was it Lexi or Renee Paquette? No, it was a backstage promo. It was like, this is where they were like yeah, and he was like, we glad we accept your challenge, and we glad you accepted you, but don't get too high on your heels, boys. It is what it's like, but sure as hell won't be at AEW Revolution, and you might as well pay the respect that we absolutely deserve. So we're gonna you might as well lay down, and so we can just easily get pin you and Darby Allin. Like, this is where he easily challenged him, accepted his challenge, and I was thinking like, I hope this doesn't mean that I hope this doesn't mean that. Oh, excuse me. I was like, yeah, that's what I'll say. Yeah, I hope it's not going to be at Revolution. It's rather going to be like next week on Dynamite, or this Saturday on Wednesday Collision, or the week after this Saturday, or wherever time it will be. Like, because us, yeah, I would say, because it would make no sense. Because it wouldn't make any sense for his career. I was like, because if they do get the shot at the AEW Tag Team Championships, I would think they probably would win those belts and drop them to the Young Bucks, something that they're probably trying to do with the Golden Jets between Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. But unfortunately, Kenny Omega's illness canceled those probably canceled those said plans, because the cleaner sadly suffered from and was diagnosed from what's that diverticulitis, diverticulitis, whatever it's called. Yeah, but yeah, hopefully he recovers from that illness, and hopefully this won't be the cause. This will be the cause of him retiring, and he will overcome this sickness, and he'll retire in his own terms, which that'll probably be in the next decade or two. But for now, my hopes my hopes and prayers, I should say, goes to Kenny Omega at this sad and unfortunate time for him in his career and for us AEW fans. But let's move on to the next wrestling slide, and that it was Mogul Embassy against the Acclaim for their AEW Trios Tag Team Championships. And I'll say, yeah, man, this was definitely the third match of the night, and it was perfect to put it on the spot, like right before the main event, because it was absolutely that damn good. I was like, and I'll say, not trying to be funny, but I think all the matches were more quick than it would have been, like from any other typical AEW time. Because I was watching throughout the match, and I remember seeing on the clock, and it was like an hour. It was like an hour and 20 minutes. I was watching the show. I was like, dang, like how long have I been watching this? But what happened to the first hour of AEW Dynamite? Like, it just felt like if it was already 2 hours, like it just came and gone. Like, everything was going quickly except for the main event match, like I said in the beginning of this video. But anyway, this is where Max Caster started off the match with Brian Cage. He hit a big what's that called, arm drag, and Brian Cage is like their version of Brock Lesnar. And I was like, how did he pick him up with Max Caster being like a cruiserweight size? And this is where Anthony Bourne started hitting chops right onto the chest of Brian Cage. This is where Brian Cage tried to go for a big clothesline, but he ducks and do an arm twisting twisting maneuver and hits a big right forearm and the right elbow right into the back of the head. This is where he goes for an elbow slamming drop. This is where Anthony Bowens is like, everyone loves the Acclaim in this piece. And then this is where he gets grabbed by Anthony Bowens. This is where he gets tossed right into the lower right corner side. This is where Toa Liona was tagged. This is where he started hitting a shoulder bumping into the midsection of Anthony Bowens. And then right here, like spearing him right to their corner in the lower right until he tagged in Bishop Khan. This is where then Bishop Khan start right foot stomping foot stomping onto Anthony Bowens until he tagged in what's his name, Brian Cage. This is where Brian Cage started stomping around the midsection. And this is where Brian Cage is like, do you all really love the Acclaim? Well, I certainly do not. And I'm sure as hell don't think that those so-called Bullet Club boys do not like you guys either. And this is where Anthony Bowens shut him up with a kick right to the midsection. This is where he started hitting right hands right onto Bishop Khan. This is where he hits a hot shot right on the Toa Liona. This is where Brian Cage tried to go for an attack right onto Anthony Bowens. This is where Anthony Bowens hit a big boot right to the face. This is where Anthony Bowens tried to go for a tag, but this is where Brian Cage grab onto his leg. But this is where Anthony Bowens hits a step up into the Giri right onto to Brian Cage to let him go. This is where he tried to tag in Billy Gunn, his daddy ass. Well, I'm not sure if I should have called him that because it's very uncomfortable of describing him as that way. So I would just call him his daddy, Billy Gunn. This is where then both Bishop Khan and Toa Liona, the Gates of Agony brothers, tripped him over, face first right onto out of the announce table. You know, typical heel stuff. This is where they Irish whipped the. This is where they also double Irish whip, what's his name, Max Caster, right onto Barry Simba the steel steps. This is where Bishop Khan and Irish whip Anthony Bowens right into the bottom right corner, try to go for a clothesline, moves out of the way, kicks him right in the face. This is where he hits a forearm right to the head. This is where Prince Nana did try to grab onto the legs of Anthony Bowens. This is where Anthony Bowens was like, ew, I do not like you. I already have a boyfriend. This is where he pushed. This is where he kicked him right into the face. This is where this is where Anthony Bowens